and make a text to self connection and do something better. So now they're wanting to fundraise. They're wanting to ship stuff off to other countries.
That's cool.
My dad is in Nigeria. My dad is Nigerian. And I'm like, you ain't got to go that far. As that you can just flip the script and you can see tons of people that are in her same situation. But for your program, would it be a situation where the school or the organization has to fund the cost for the fair, or is it just I show up and I can participate?
So it depends on the school. There are some schools that have the resources to be able to sponsor the program in its entirety. But what we like to do is, because this, albeit is inside generally a school, although we've done it in organizations like the YMCA and Boys and Girls Club. It's important to have the community involved. We want there to be a connection between the community and the school. So what we usually do is that we have a majority and a minority sponsor. So we'll get, let's say, for example, like a Chase Bank or Wells Fargo Bank or a Citibank, usually a financial industry, and they become the major sponsor because in part these financial institutions are allocate funds to give back to their community, and this is
They
one of the
do.
things that they can do. So it's in their best interest to have these connections. So they'll be the majority sponsor and they'll pay for the overall structure of the program. Then we'll get a minority sponsor. Maybe that's an entrepreneur in the area or a small business, and they'll be the minority sponsor and they'll sponsor the books that just that go with the program. And then the school will pay for the materials, for the trifolds and the construction paper. And so everyone has skin in the game. The school is paying for the materials, the minority sponsor is paying for the books, the majority sponsor is paying for the overall program. And that way these communities also come together to witness this fair. And that in itself makes it, not just a school project, but it makes it a community project. And I don't know how well you can see this, but this was a fair from earlier this year. I'm going to show from my phone. Let's see.
Okay, let me see.
So this is
Oh wow.
So this is the fair. So like we're not playing here. So
Wow.
these kids, you can see there's adults, there's community leaders, there's family members, there's teachers,
Wow.
so yeah,
That is
we are
dope.
not playing around. This is
It's
500 students all together in Western Massachusetts, and again, they're showcasing their ideas for a business. In these cases, these kids love walking. They love pets, so they created a dog walking company.
okay.
These kids play musical instruments, so they created a tutoring company to teach other kids how to play
Wow.
musical instruments. And then you've got these kids who came up with a creative. They love sports cars, so they created a sports car wash
Oh my
to
God,
specific. Yeah, exactly. So like
this
these
is
kids,
dope.
I'm trying to tell you, it's a reason why we've scaled from 50 students to 6,000 students in just 3 years. Because
Oh,
these kids are using their own ingenuity, their own passions to be able to create their own business, doing what they love. And it's
that's
it's
right.
it's it's such a game changer. And we emphasize we don't want the teachers' input, we don't want the parents' input. This is your business. This is your
That's right.
project. Here is the tool to teach you how to do it. We're going to provide you with the resources to make it
Okay.
happen. The rest is on you to bring to life. And
So do they
it's
read the book as they go, or should they read the book first and
they read the book
then?
first as a class or as a school. They read the
Okay.
book together, and then the school will provide them with the materials. They partner up with their colleagues, and they cultivate their business. And we provide them with the tools and the methodology to be able to make that happen. The teachers
Okay.
oversee it and make sure that things are, going right and answer any questions that they may have. But for the most part, this is all them.
This is awesome. And we have to definitely oversee and make sure they're not chat GPT and everything to death. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I
absolutely.
want their words, their
There you
writing,
go.
and that's what I'm working on. I teach
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
Chat GPT is really a thorn in my side right now for a couple of reasons. It's given a lot of false information.
mm,
I don't mind a child Googling or researching something quick with Chat GPT, but it's also making them feel like they can't think for themselves.
yeah,
And I'm like, it's nothing wrong with going to the library, go old school, get a book, research it on your own. We can help you navigate the book, but I don't want them relying totally on ChatGPT. And so sometimes especially with the 5th grade, I'll get an essay back and I'm looking at all these words. It's like, oh, yeah, the protagonists, their conflicts were so pervasive throughout the novel. I'm like, so and so, what's
Bipolar.
pervasive mean? You're like,
That's
I don't
good.
know. I'm like,
Right.
this all throughout your paper. What you mean? So,
Right.
listen, I can't. With the fair, is it the elementary competing with the upper grades, the high school, and the upper middle school?
Well, that's the great thing about this program. This is not a competition. There's no winner.
Okay,
This is the compensation is praise. Who's to say out of those 500 students whose idea is better? Like
got it.
that's not the goal here. The goal isn't to have a winner, because if you have 500 students participating in this particular program and the one gets a bronze, a gold, and a silver, well then there's 490 other 7 kids who feel like maybe that their project isn't relevant. And that's not the objective of this project. The objective is to critically think, to be creative, to have fun, to work
Thank you.
together. And there's no such thing as a winner or a loser. All of them win, and the compensation for each and every one of them is simply praise. None of them there's no award given. There's
Uh,
no, 1, 2, 3 podium. There's no gold medal. There's no trophy,
okay,
because that's not the
okay,
objective here. The
got
objective is
it.
for these kids to think for themselves, to be creative, and to have fun. And for that, there's no winner or loser. And no, there's no competition with other schools to see whose ideas are better. I think once you do that, and then it becomes discouraging, because some kids will think that this idea, and some of these kids like create ideas out of thin air. One young kid who was actually on the spectrum created a a um a fishing rod that he made from sticks that he got outside, and he provides you with like the little hooks that you put into the stick and the string. So he created and this really cute device, almost like a yo-yo, to be
Okay,
able to reel it in. But he thought of that himself, and
wow.
because he loves to go fishing with his dad, but rods are really expensive, so he
Uh-huh.
provides you with the template for you to create your own fishing rod. It was genius, and this was a kid who was on the spectrum and had difficulty working with others, so he wanted to do this by himself. But as he said, the father came to me in tears and said, "This is the most energetic we've ever seen our child, because he was
Yeah.
doing something that he loved to do."
That
So
he loved.
yeah,
That's awesome, and I think that a lot of kids, not just boys, but I think there are a lot of girls too who are being misdiagnosed with certain not illnesses, disorders, and it's really
sure,
just boredom.
yeah.
It's really just boredom. A lot of kids are actually gifted, and I do remember from my studies, you have to teach gifted learners just like you would someone that has special needs as
Mm.
learners, because they get bored very easily, and when they're bored, sometimes they do act out. I think we got to take a commercial.